This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.
You are now listening to the Life in Football podcast. Check out the new website, lifeinfootball.com. Once again, the website is lifeinfootball.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Life in Football podcast, baby. I'm your host, Mike Fee.
And this your co-host, Colin Moore. You know, we loving life and enjoying football.
We got a very special episode today. We're going to go over a few topics. We don't have a guest, but we have some very important topics. We would like to share our thoughts and our interests. If you guys have any input or any comments you would like to make on all of our platforms, there are ways that you can put in the something in the comment section for them all. YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, even on our website, because this will go up on the website as well. So we just want y'all to sit back, man, and check it out and listen to the topics that we got today. And we would love to hear y'all interest and y'all feedback on some of these topics. Now, today, first off, we got to say rest in peace on our first topic to Mr. Bobby Bowden. Now, Coach Bowden, real name is actually Robert Bowden, and he was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. He was the head coach at Florida State from 1976 to 2009. He's married to Miss Ann, and they have a lot of kids and a lot of grandkids. Coach Bowden, this was something he was famous for, even during the playing days. They was always talking about his kids and his grandkids. And he had kids who was coaches too, from Terry Bowden, Tommy Bowden, Jeff Bowden. Then he had Ginger and Raybone. And these are people that's going through a lot right now, because Coach Bowden, he wasn't just a pillar in our hearts and minds, but he was their father, he was their husband. And this is great because Coach Bowden was a man of God. It's real important. I always remember that being notated and stuff he said after games, before games. He would be on the TV praying with the team. You would see him with the chaplain after Peter Walker or whoever would score. And a lot of times you would see him in the chaplain talking, or sometimes him praying with the players, even during practice. So he was a great example of a man of God and a stand-up guy. Coach Bobby Bowden, y'all, he wasn't just, a big rah-rah guy. He was also known for a coach to say stuff like "dat gummit," "god dog," and stuff like that. That's how my granddaddy used to talk, Wilford Brown. He used to talk exactly like that. And I got a lot of respect for a man who know how to hold their words and communicate in a positive way, because you don't really hear that a lot of times, with coaches. You'll hear a lot of other language, but to be able to have that restraint and to hold yourself to a certain standard and speak a certain way in front of your players, that speak levels. And I just got to speak on that as well, because it may seem small, something like that, with him not using profanity, because Coach Bowden didn't use profanity. But that is major, because your character shows you the true person. And what I mean by that is, you can just watch somebody and you can listen to them, and then you can see the things they do. You can hear how the people talk about them. And that goes a long way, fellas. Not just when you playing football, but when you graduate and you trying to get a job, you trying to be a great representation for your family and for your kids. Your kids watching everything you do. So you can sit around here and say, I'm going to do this and that. Your kids know when you really ain't, showing their mama love, and not just by you saying it, by what you doing. Are you bringing flowers to the house? Because these things that Coach Bowden, I know for a fact that was going on. I had two teammates play for him, and they taught, they had a lot of respect for him, during their days when they played for him. So that's my little insight on it. I'm gonna go ahead and let Simo jump in.
So I want to talk about Coach Bobby Bowden. Like, he had Florida State rocking and rolling. So every time you see them Seminoles, Coach Bobby Bowden, and you enjoy that. You know he was gonna win. Like Mike said, you know he was gonna talk about God. He was gonna treat the players well. So you will want to be a part of that. And he seemed like he always had such amazing players, and they always seemed like they always loved him. And then it came to the point as I was getting older and getting ready to go to high school, my first year of high school in ninth grade, he signed my cousin, which is Greg Max Moore, to Florida State. And I remember when Florida State signed him, my cousin Max's roommate was Talman Gardner. So them was the only two wide receivers that Coach Bobby Bowden had signed in 98. And, just to hear about how Coach was and how great he was, it was like he set the bar for how really all the coaches act now with how coaches carry themselves and how they go about the love on the players, the how the spiritual side, when you talking about God and you're not scared. Like, he pretty much cleared the way for you on that, at least in my eyes, because I'm here in the state of Florida. So that's all we're gonna see about is, the Florida schools, because we right here up under it. So the first time I actually ever met Coach Bobby Bowden was at my high school. Now, I wish he was coming there to recruit me, but I guess I went Florida State material, or I didn't apply myself enough to be Florida State material. So he was coming there to recruit Alex Boston. And he actually signed Alex Boston to Florida State. And when Coach came through, it kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, Coach, what's up? He's like, hey, how you doing? And I couldn't remember all of it, but I was just so starstruck, like, dog, this is Coach Bobby Bowden. Like, this man just be winning. And he right here in our school. Like, he was right there at Bartow High School on our campus. So I'm pretty sure he came there the year before when I was like an 8th grader as well. But just to have that going on, man, is amazing. And then for him to have his sons, and you know how they say a son can follow in the father's footsteps. You had that with some of his sons coaching. And then most recently is Coach Terry Bowden. Coach Terry Bowden right now at Louisiana Monroe, which is UNLM. So he's at Louisiana Monroe coaching. And you ought to check out his coaching staff. I'm talking about, you got Rich Rodriguez on there, if I said his name right. But Coach Rich was that man offensive coordinator, and he gonna ball. I guarantee you they gonna ball. And then just to have Coach Terry Bowden leading that program, Coach Bobby Bowden had went over there when they introduced him as the coach, when they introduced Terry Bowden as the coach. And he was there. He was like, man, y'all got to check out. Don't quote me wrong on it, but my son got a good thing going here, man. He going to have great facilities, pretty a great staff, he got players, and he in a great state to win. Man, y'all, hey, he could do something with it. So he was going to most likely go probably catch the first game. So that's a lot going. Like, he was in his 90s and still in his right mindset. That's a blessing in itself, because my grandmother, when she was 78, um, she was in her right mind, in and out. And that kind of hurt, because some of the ways she was acting towards the end, we knew that wouldn't really hurt. But to hear Coach Bobby Bowden, just sitting there talking so good about Coach Terry Bowden, his son, about you and Louisiana Monroe, like, you really can't beat that. So I hope to have and see nothing but the best for Coach Terry Bowden. Now, he's taking over a team that went 0-10. I believe, 0-10. But he got playmakers. He got Coach Rich's son at quarterback. He got playmakers at wide receiver, playmakers at running back, playmakers on offense and defense. So I want y'all players to look into Louisiana. I'm saying it wrong, Monroe, and check out the school and watch what Coach Terry Bowden do. Now you got to think, if he raised his family like that, his son saw that. So they're implementing stuff they learned from him and everything that they learned along the way from other coaches as well, and gonna implement that into that program. So look for that team maybe and very possibly being the biggest turnaround program in college football this coming year. Just because they went 0-10. So he knocked out a couple wins, y'all already looking at something special. So definitely check Coach Terry Bowden now. Hey, his father is Coach Bobby Bowden. You can't get no better than that.
Shout out to Coach Terry Bowden and shout out to Coach Tommy Bowden as well. That was his other son. He was the head coach at Clemson. Now, a lot of people always say Dabo was the kind of turning point for Clemson, but truth be told, Tommy Bowden was that initial phase of that. Because Tommy Bowden was the first Clemson coach that really came down and got a lot of Florida guys. And Coach Tommy Bowden and Coach Bobby Bowden, his son, they had a battle what they used to call the Bowden Bowl. Every year when Clemson played, they were Clemson and Florida State played. They made it a big thing, and this was back in the day. Now a while ago, where they would call it the Bowden Bowl, Clemson and Florida State, and it was always a close game at times. I know one time, it got kind of out of hand, but you know, Tommy Bowden, he was the one initiated a lot of that movement, and he was the one who told Clemson, "Hey, I believe, um, since I ain't the man for the job, Dabo will be the man. I guarantee you, he won't let y'all down." He was the one who made that call. That's a true fact right there. Tommy Bowden, he was the one who pushed Dabo to get that Clemson job, and the coach and the school went with it too. Man, lastly on the Coach Bowden thing, Coach Bowden won 2 national championships, 12 ACC championships, and he was one of the best coaches in college football history. He was one of the first coaches in Florida State history to start an African American quarterback by the name of Charlie Ward, and he actually won a Heisman Trophy. Um, who the other quarterback won that Heisman Trophy for him? Chris Winkie. Chris Winkie won a Heisman Trophy for him too. And truth be told, Peter Ward should have won a Heisman Trophy, but that's a whole nother story, whole nother time. And now, fellas, we got to get down to it. This a topic that's real important and it's real deal because the season getting ready to kick off. Now we know you in camp. We know you trying. Don't get discouraged if you don't come out there that first game of the year and start. Cause guess what? It's a lot of meat left on the bone and it's a lot of games left to play. You ain't just got to worry about no football. You got your grades as well. So you got to stay on top of everything. This is the time of the season where you can't just be sitting back playing PlayStation, going on social media, and thinking you handling business, but you really playing, doing it for yourself and, just trying to hang out when you should be focusing on your school, talking to your family, and making sure you dedicate to your sport because you don't want to look back at these times when you in camp and you sitting on the sideline playing around just cause it's hot, just cause you not starting and miss that opportunity when coach turn around to you on that bench and say, "Hey, come on, man, we need you." And all of a sudden, it's just the second quarter of the game, the man out for the rest of the game, and now you out there getting blowed off the ball, getting blowed off your route, dropping passes, or you might be the quarterback and don't know you might know the calls, but guess what? You don't know the audibles, and that's real important. So players, make sure when you out here today, baby, we with you. Stay focused, man. Get on your grind. Get right. And not only just for you, just think about all the people in your family who want to see you play. And they might not even just want to see you start. They just want to see you play. So when you run it down there on kickoff, you run it to the fullest of your ability. Or you just on punt team. Get that man off you. Get down there and get that ball. Or you might be the second string running back. Instead of sitting out and thinking about transfer, go in there and do your thing, man. Make the most of that opportunity. If you can get 2 or 3 runs a game, get it. Cause everybody ain't gonna want to come see you playing at Central Florida, the Gators, Clemson, Florida State FAMU, Bethune Cookman, West Florida, wherever you playing at, and saying he up here keep waving at us. But your few opportunities that you get, you ain't even trying to make the most of it because you sad because you ain't in the game. Fellas, make the most of that opportunity.
Now, players, y'all heard Mike. He right on the money. Take advantage. If you on that football team, listen here. If you on any football team, high school, college, JUCO, the NFL, whatever it is, you got a chance to play, period. I don't care how far you buried on that depth chart, you got a chance to play. If you go up there, you go out there and suit up, you got an opportunity. It's just going to depend on how much work will you put in. Yes, the person that started may be first round talent. So you know how hard you got to work to get there. You want to go to the league anyways. And if you don't, you still want to play. You on the squad, why not play? So if the happen to be the first team player is a first round talent, you know you got to be able to not only work at his level, but you got to work past his level. You got to do 10 times, 30 times more than him. It may sound hard, but hey, that's life. You got to come out there and get with it, period. So if he always at the front of the line going 100, you got to go work your way up to where the coaches can respect you with being at the front of the line, as in because you do everything in the classroom. You get them a 3.5 or better. You be on time for everything. You in the weight room going all out. You get into a film study and you locked in. You asking coach, what about this and what about that? And you're learning. And if you don't know how to watch film, you asking them to teach you how to really watch it. And again, like Mike said, don't let Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the gals at school, the smoking, the drinking mess you up, man. A lot of that stuff time wasters. You can get on there on the social media and just slip through and waste 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes to an hour, 2, 3 hours wasting time when you could have been locked and loaded on studying the playbook. Like Mike said, where you would know the audibles, knowing everything that you need to know for your position and other positions, so you can be calling this stuff out. You can sit right up on the coach. If you ain't playing, sit right up on them. You ain't got no time to be talking on the sideline to your homeboy, talking about, dang, what you call the guy burned. Oh, dog, you seen him miss that block? No, you should be right up on the coach, learning everything you could possibly learn. So if you get the opportunity to get in the game, you ain't never got to come out because you just went in there and ripped it up. And then, like I said, if you got all the other stuff going for you, hey, coach, he's smart. Hey, coach, he's amazing in weight room. Hey, coach, he goes 120, 130 at practice. Hey, coach, he on every special teams, making all his blocks, trying to make every tackle possible. Listen, it's not hard to get on the field. It's how dedicated will you be in not only football, but in every area of your life at that school. And then on another thing, you really only there for a short span. You there for about 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, so you can leave. You coming in as a boy. You're going to leave as a young man. And you should leave with that degree. And you should leave with knowing you gave everything you had, period, all the way out. And that's how you'll make a great fall camp. That's how you'll make any day at camp good. And if you lock in, stay focused all the way through, man, ain't nothing but good stuff gonna happen to you. You can't lose when everything.
And fellas, another note why I was saying you never know when your opportunity is gonna come because I dealt with it. My freshman year, Ellsworth College, Iowa Falls, Iowa. My second game, going into the second game, I never forget it was a Sunday. We had our defensive coordinator, Coach David, man, him and our head coach, John Sala, came to me and they said, "Hey, Mike, we wanna speak with you about something." So Coach say, "Mike, listen, we gonna give you an opportunity to start this game, our upcoming game against Iowa Central." Now, actually didn't know much about the game, that particular game, but I understood it was a high stakes game. That was the rival of Ellsworth College at that time. So I'm looking like, sir? He like, yeah, man, one of the guys messed up last night at a party. I don't know if the guy got arrested or what, I don't know. So I got my opportunity, fellas. When I say I took off like a rocket that next game at Iowa Central, I took off. And the coaches, I never forget when I came back to the sideline one time, the running back, I knew I was looking at this play so hard doing film session. I knew I was gonna be able to take the ball out this running back hand because he ran so loose with it. And I knew exactly when I was gonna grab it and take it from him. Guess what, fella? That happened. The running back, they had like a little kind of off dive type play because they was a running team, man. They was pretty much running the wing T. So they gave it to the running back, and he did the same little move where he tried to juke and try to give that strong arm, where he just tried to do that pretty much just Adrian Peterson here, where they just stiff arm you and smash it to the ground. So I was able to knock his hand out the way, grab the ball, push him down on the ground, and ran for about 17 yards. When I came back to the sideline, the coach is looking at me like a madman. They don't know. I already had that in the plan. I already knew he was gonna have that. I mean, that was gonna happen. But see, fella, that come with determination and film studying. And guess what else happened that game? I was hitting so hard. True story. It's a referee came up to me during the game, during the Iowa Central game. He said, "Son, why'd you hit so hard like this, man?" He said, "You meeting the running back in the hole before he even get a chance to get the ball." And my coaches came to me that game, all of even some of the offensive coordinators. I mean, because we had two of them at that time. They came to me. They said, "Mike, man, hey, you just want yourself to start in position for the rest of the year. Ain't no way that guy. I know he got years on you, but he can't. Ain't no. I don't care what he do. He'll never win that bad." Fellas, look at that impact I made. A freshman year, junior college, I came in the game destroyed so bad to the coaches like, "Hey, this man here is an NFL player in the making."
Now, players, I want to tell y'all this for everybody right here. On our recent podcast, we had Coach Bowman, Dominique Bowman, the DB coach for Marshall University. And man, when I tell you, he dropped some wisdom, knowledge, man, on the table for everybody. It really lets you know that, man, don't go into the situation looking at it as in you want that overnight success. I think that's what kill a lot of dreams, want that overnight success. And when it don't happen in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a year, you give up. And really, in reality, is you shouldn't even think about quitting. If you start something, look at it long term. Look at it saying, okay, let me see where I'm at in 3 years. Let me see where I'm at in 5 years. Let me see where I'm at in 7 and 10 years. That lets you know where you really at, because you're gonna be learning and you're gonna be growing. So back to Coach, because this is what I took from him, and that's what I took from him too. But this what I took. Coach said he worked 5 years at the high school level, and I believe he worked 2 jobs for 5 years, high school level. A coach came in and said, "Hey, coach, you know they got a position. You ever thought about college?" He like, "Nah, coach, I ain't really thought about that. I just love ball." So basically, find what you love doing, and the money gonna find you. Don't go chase the money. Don't go chase the overnight success. If you do what you got to do, doing what you love, everything else gonna pan out. So the coach told him, "Yeah." He said, "Nah, coach, I never thought about college. I just, I love what I do though." So the coach said, "Go check it out." Coach Bowman drove over there to, I believe, Arkansas Monticello. I believe that's what he said. And if not, it was Arkansas Tech, but I believe Arkansas Monticello. Drove over there, and that's a D2 school, and locked in there. Now, that's a D2 school. So he worked 5 years, 2 jobs on the high school level. 5 years. He did his time. Now he at University of Marshall. Man, just imagine if some of us just lock in and don't give up. Lock in and don't look at the now, but yes, do well now, but be planning for the future. Always praying and asking God to bless your situation and bless where you're going. Bless you to meet the correct people. Bless you to meet the people that can help you get here and help you get there. And bless you to be a person that you can help people get here and get there, but never looking for the quick microwave success. And look how God blessed him. That's the same way he could bless any one of us if we take our eyes off on that microwave success and put it in that oven. Matter of fact, before you even put it in the oven, take it out the freezer, let it thaw a little bit. Let it sit there. Let it get like it need to get before you can put it in the oven. Then have one of them oven days where you got to let it sit for a while, just letting it get right. So don't be in such a rush to have that success, y'all. Sometimes it's going to take years. Now, one thing about it, once you do get the success rolling, it's just like stacking a lot of good days on top of a lot of good days. That thing turned into from a small snowball to a big, gigantic snowball where success just look like it's hitting you from every angle. And it can be like that, but you can't give up. So that's all I got for y'all boys, man. Don't give up.
Hey, and that's another great episode of the Life in Football podcast. Y'all make sure y'all check us out on all the other episodes we got. We got some great information, man. We just wanted to share our voices this time. And we got probably some episodes later on in the year where we're going to talk to y'all. And this Seymour talked about doing, myself, I wanted to do. And not just football stuff about me and him. I'm coming to his wedding. He came to mine, and I was around his family. He around mine to show y'all that true meaning of the life in football aspect, and that's something I always really wanted to talk about and share with y'all as well. But I'm gonna leave y'all how I always leave y'all. Keep your head up and not down, or else you'll fall to the ground. It's the Life in Football podcast. Catch you next time.
You are now listening to the Life in Football podcast. Check out the new website, lifeinfootball.com. Once again, the website is lifeinfootball.com. Thanks for listening.
This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.